I am a rider, provider. Bring the heat, girl. I will bring the fire. And my name keeps going worldwide. So my job is to satisfy you.
So you're saying Emi Martinez to Manchester United is it could happen? Emi Martinez to Manchester United, it could really happen. Where are we on this? Because listen, this news, I mean, I know we were going to look for a goalkeeper, and we know a goalkeeper is essential for our progression this season. Emi Martinez, though, to Manchester United, could be a thing, because reports are saying that talks between Manchester United and Aston Villa over Emi Martinez are set to commence in the next few days. Martinez has already given the green light to sign for Manchester United, with talks advancing in the last few days. I mean, this is crazy. Check this out. Another report, this is from Fabrizio Romano. He's saying that Emi Martinez would be willing to join Manchester United this summer, even without Champions League football. Now, initial talks have been made with his agent, and Martinez is waiting to see what happens with Andre Onana. Now, listen, here's the thing. Andre Onana hasn't yet been told, like, listen, you are surplus to the requirement, you need to pack your bags. Apparently, United are not really, like, pushing to get rid of Onana, but come on, man. I mean, if this is stories like this are happening, this is according from Fabrizio again, is saying Emi Martinez is open to joining Manchester United this summer, even without Champions League football. I mean, you cannot have both Emi Martinez and Onana in the same team, right? I think if these talks are going, I think Andre Onana will kind of get the message, like, listen, dude, find another club, right? Now, listen, the issue with Onana is who is really willing to pay at least close to 30 million for him. That is the tricky part, right? Because since, with the PSR situation, we really cannot afford to say, hey, you know what, terminate the contract or sell him at a loss. We need someone to come and buy him. Listen, I hope there's a club out there willing to do that. Saudi, come on, Saudi. Onana, ball-playing goalkeeper and all, come on down. So listen, so why this deal could really happen is because due to Aston Villa's potential PSR issues, a deal for Emiliano Martinez could be exploited in the next 2 weeks. All right. The end of which is next 2 weeks, will be the end of the financial year. July 1st, it's a new financial year starting. So, that's why this deal could happen very soon, because they want to make sure that they put it, I think, in this financial year, instead of pushing it to the next financial year. This is according to Ben Jacobs, of course. So, I mean, it's crazy. I mean, I like Emi Martinez. To me, that number 1 jersey at Manchester United will not really, will not weigh heavy on him, right? Because he really comes in with a lot of swag, right? World Cup winning goalkeeper, yes, he could be, sometimes he has a mistake here and there. Now, we have seen some of his mistakes at Aston Villa, but again, Aston Villa is a smaller club, no disrespect. At Man United, it's going to be amplified 1,000 times, right? He's going to be amplified 1,000 times. So, what I'm saying is, I mean, when you're playing for Man United, it's a whole different ballgame. So here's the thing that I have, right? With Emi Martinez, what are the prices that we're looking at? Apparently between 30 to 40 million. Now, Emi Martinez, how old is he again? I think he's close to his 30s, right? Emi Martinez, I'm checking here. Emi Martinez age. So yeah, he's 32. All right. Emi Martinez is 32. Now, of course, with goalkeepers, as you age, it's not like it diminishes your abilities, right? Because remember, when we signed Edwin van der Sar, we signed him almost really at the, he was at up there in the age as well. And look what he did, became a legend. So here's the thing. Emi Martinez, I'm not saying that he's an Edwin van der Sar, but he may still do the job for us. But at 30 and 40 million, between 30 and 40, are you willing to pay that for him? Because if you think about it, there are other goalkeepers out there, younger, who can do the job for us. Right? Diogo Costa, I think we're also looking at him. Chevalier or something. So there are other keepers out there. But the thing about Emi Martinez is, again, Premier League proven. Again, that word again, Premier League proven. So I kind of like the idea of Emi Martinez, just because he's kind of used to the hustle and bustle of the Premier League, and he would work for us. So you let me know what you think. Do you want Emi Martinez at Manchester United as your number 1, or do you have another goalkeeper that you would like? But it's very interesting that this deal is really moving pretty fast. Yeah, so I see another report here from Nikos Shira. He's a journalist, I believe, in Argentina, if I'm not mistaken. The report is saying Manchester United have open talks to try to sign Emi Martinez, who is ready to leave Aston Villa in the summer transfer window. So it is all going off, right? So let me know what you think. Smash a like, hit the subscribe if you haven't done so already. I appreciate you supporting. You know what? I'll see you in the next one. Peace. Manchester United fixtures have been released. Okay. This is the Minecraft mug right here. It changed its color. But yeah, Manchester United fixtures have been released. The first 5 games, we got the first one, Arsenal. Second one, we got Fulham. And then Burnley, we got Man City, and then Chelsea. Now listen, points do we think we're gonna collect, people? Good morning, by the way. Arsenal, Fulham, Burnley. I think we can get away with Burnley maybe. Man City, Chelsea. Boy, oh boy. I think, I was hoping that our when the fixtures come out, it wouldn't be this crazy. But this is gonna be tough, man. Ruben Amorim needs to hit the ground running. Now I know Barada. I don't know if you guys saw his speech yesterday on talking about the Project 150. Saying that by 2028 he believes we can win the Premier League, right? But also he's saying, like, you know what? We're not really going to rush to get signings in. Usually when you don't rush, you're actually trying to make sure you get the best deal. Yeah, brother. Scratch that. You need to get these players in ASAP. Start with Mbeumo. Get him in now. Brother, I'm talking to you, brother. You see the schedule, right? Ruben Amorim needs his players in. All right? Get him Mbeumo through the line. All right? Get him the striker. All right? At least when we go to preseason, at least he has the front 3. Cunha's already there. Good. Good job. You started early. We like that. Now, get him Mbeumo through the gate and then get him the striker. Listen, I'm not going to sit here and say I wouldn't want Gyökeres because he decided to prioritize Arsenal. I want Gyökeres. Get him in, all right? That way we know at least we got a chance, right? And you know what? Let's get these players out of the door. Sanchellini, I see him being linked with Napoli. Get that done, all right? I see Garnacho. Also, who is he being linked with? You guys tell me. But he needs to be out. We don't want to see Garnacho on that plane because we already said he needs to be out, right? So on that plane to preseason coming to the United States, we don't want to see Garnacho. We don't want to see Rashford, right? Who else we need to go? We don't want to see Anthony. Anthony, it looks like that deal may work for him going to Real Betis because Real Betis, they're really keen on getting him back. So hopefully that will work and we'll come up with a deal. But yeah, the players that they're not going to feature in our next season, we don't want them on the plane. All right. Onana, guys, forget about it, man. Onana is staying, guys. Onana is staying. But I think Bindia may end up leaving. We shall see. But if he leaves, then yeah, we need to bring in a goalkeeper that can challenge Onana, right? I know a lot of you guys are excited about our new old goalkeeper getting a contract extension in Tom Heaton. Personally, you know what? I don't mind Tom Heaton as a third choice goalkeeper, right? He is quality. And I think even last season, had he played some of those games rather than Onana, in my personal opinion, I think he would have done better, right? So, again, listen, this season, it is going to be tough. We have really tough games coming up, the first 5 games. So we need to hit the ground running. No room for error. Ruben Amorim, he has no choice but to deliver this time around because he's going to have preseason. And it looks like Ineos, they're backing him. Well, they should be backing him because that's their guy. They cannot afford to allow him to fail, right? Because if he fails, it means Ineos failed, right? First of all, they bring the guy in the middle of the season, right? Berardi talked about it too, and they knew it would be risky, but they did not expect it to be that bad finishing 15th, right? Now, the last time we finished 15th, worse than this past season was when we got relegated, right? So it means now, Berardi even was saying on that article yesterday, the interview yesterday, he was saying that, listen, this is whatever the way we finished now, this was the worst ever, and we're not going to go back there ever again. So the only way is up, baby. Let's see. People, smash a like, hit that follow, hit the subscribe if you've done it already. Listen, it's going to be crazy. Let me know how many points do you think we're going to get in the first 5 games. Do you think we can beat Arsenal at home? I think we can. Why not? It's just Arsenal. But again, Arsenal, they're a good team. And listen, I don't know what striker they're going to get. If they get Šeško, good. But if they end up going through and getting Gyökeres, boy, oh boy, oh boy, it's going to be crazy. All right? Let me know what you guys think. Peace. Mbeumo to Manchester United? Is it a doubt now? Are we in a situation now where we may lose Bryan Mbeumo? Because according to reports, Bryan Mbeumo, obviously he has already said he wanted Manchester United, right? He said he wants Manchester United, and that's why we are already working with him. We're taking our sweet time because we know Bryan Mbeumo wants Manchester United. But there's a twist. The twist is this guy by the name of Thomas Frank, ex-Brentford manager, who is now manager of the one and only Spursy. Now, this is not a good look, right? It's not a good look because Thomas Frank may very well hijack this deal. Tottenham may hijack this deal. Imagine that. Imagine if we fail to secure the deal on Bryan Mbeumo. One of the key number 10s that we already said, listen, whatever we do, we need him ASAP. But we're kind of slow on pulling the trigger to make this deal happen. So I'm kind of, I don't know, should we be worried? One thing we know, Daniel Levy is very stingy when it comes to the money, right? So I don't know if they're really going to pull the trigger. It could very well be, because United, apparently, we're trying to bid, if we already bid, I think we already bid 60 million, right? Now, it could be that this news that we're seeing, you're asking which news? Right here. I see that there's a report here, apparently breaking, according to the Mirror, Tottenham have launched a 70 million bid to hijack Manchester United move for Bryan Mbeumo. Spurs' offer is worth 65 million plus 5 million in add-ons, 10 million more than United, right? Now, was this bid really put in, or this is Brentford now trying to throw this news out there to kind of put pressure on us to up our bid, Manchester United bid? So, I mean, this whole thing, it looks like it is really, going kind of crazy right now, right? Of course, it's clear that Spurs are interested in Mbeumo, of course, because Thomas Frank is there. But Mbeumo has already told us that, listen, he wants United. Because if he wanted United at when he was at Brentford, when he's still at Brentford, right? He wanted United when he's at Brentford, right? So, what has changed, right? Because right now, if you're telling me, all of a sudden, he changes his mind, he doesn't want United anymore, he's willing to go to Tottenham, I'll be like, all right, so what happened? What changed? Right? You already told us, you gave us your word, Bryan Mbeumo, that you wanted United. So this is not good. So look, I mean, if we start losing our number one targets and we pivot to second and third, then that's pretty much the window is pretty much going to be bust, right? Because obviously we have prioritized Cunha, who's in the bag, and Mbeumo, because Ruben Amorim wanted 2 10s, and they're the best ones around and Premier League proven, right? So we really cannot afford to lose to Tottenham once again, because losing to Tottenham in that final is a disgrace. But losing to Tottenham on a big signing like Mbeumo, that will be an ultimate disgrace. We cannot let this happen. We are Manchester United we're talking about here. This is Manchester United we're talking about here. So listen, I don't think we're going to lose him to Tottenham because, again, we are a bigger club, and we're hoping on Daniel Levy being stingy with the money, that he may not want to pay that 70 million for Bryan Mbeumo. And listen, he gave us his word, right? So we are hoping that his word means something, and he's gonna, make sure that he secures the move to United, right? But again, at the end of the day, United, we need to step up our game and make sure we lock this one in. Once we lock him in, then all right, then we can work on the number 9 situation, right? Because that is a whole nother mess. Ekitike, we're linked with him. We're seeing reports that we're talking to. Discussions have started on Osherman. Of course, Yokeres over there in Sporting, he has there's a beef going on with him and his club president. So it is all going on. But listen, we cannot lose Mbeumo to Tottenham. All right, people, let me know what you think. Are we going to get Mbeumo or not? If we lose him, how is that going to make you feel? Let me know. Smash the like, hit the follow, hit the subscribe if you haven't done so already. Peace out.
let's go, 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 let's go.
Okay, Ugo Ekitike. Ugo Ekitike to Manchester United. I mean, I did not see this coming. I can tell you that right now. All right, I did not see it coming. Ugo Ekitike to Manchester United. Why would we be going for this guy? According to Sky Sports, the breaking news apparently, Manchester United have made contact with Eintracht Frankfurt to register an interest in Ugo Ekitike, according to Sky Germany. Right? Now listen, Ugo Ekitike, is this now, like, are we pivoting from the whole Gyökeres thing? Right? Because Gyökeres' fee is what? They're asking for 60-something million. Osimhen is also close to 60-something million. But this Ekitike guy, his fee is close to 100 million. Right? Now, he's younger. Is this... I don't believe this story. I think it's they're trying to play games here. They meaning United, they meaning all these agents and stuff. They're trying to play games because obviously Gyökeres is Man United's target. He wants us, right? We see reports that Arsenal spoke to Gyökeres, and Arsenal apparently they had put in a bid for Gyökeres already after speaking to his agent yesterday. Apparently, if I'm not mistaken, I think Arsenal's bid was rejected, right? And we happen to see today Gyökeres puts a post on his IG saying a lot of stuff that we're seeing out there in the news, in the socials, whatever, is all false. And apparently he will speak when the time comes. So there's a lot of craziness going on. Because this Ekitike story, it doesn't make any sense, because why would we pay more money for a striker that is unproven, whereas you have Gyökeres, you have Osimhen out here? Why would we go for Ekitike? It doesn't make any sense. So yeah, it doesn't really make any sense. Florian Plettenberg is saying Manchester United have now officially entered the race for Ugo Ekitike. Man United made contact with Eintracht Frankfurt in the last 48 hours, expressed concrete interest and gathered all relevant information. Now we know who's been after this guy, right? Liverpool have been looking at him. Chelsea has been looking at him, right? Apparently, both of those guys, Liverpool and Chelsea, they remain in the race. And now Manchester United are in as well. Price tag, 100 million. You know, this doesn't make any sense at all. Again, the reason I'm saying is it could be a tactic thing, because there's some issues with the Gyökeres deal. So maybe United is saying, you know what? I know maybe a lot of people out here think that money is an issue. Look, we can even go for this guy who's even more expensive. You know, just try to play some games, right? So we shall see, man. I don't trust this source. I mean, of course, Pletigo, he's pretty good, but I want to hear it from the main guys like Ornstein, main guys like Romano, right? If I hear it from those guys, then I know, okay, this could be a thing. So we shall see. I mean, a lot of craziness, people. I don't know. We're definitely in for a striker, right? We're definitely in for a striker. We need a striker. We need someone who can give us 20 goal minimum, right? And Ekitike, you know, he's another trial striker, right? Meaning that he's not proven, right? Because you bring him, then it could be another Højlund situation, right? So it's all going off. Make sure you smash the like, hit that subscribe. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
You want to bamba? You wanna G with the big boys? Now you the wrong, get the kitty, you the wrong, get a coffee drink with a drop cup. Wait, let you see how the thing goes. How the thing goes. Oh, you tell them I hope and
All right, Victor Gyökeres to Manchester United. Is it off? Victor Gyökeres deal to Manchester United. Is it done? Is Manchester United going to pivot from the Victor Gyökeres deal? It is all going off. It is all going off. It started like this. Remember, there were some stories that Sporting, apparently they're not going to honor the gentleman's agreement of, what was that? 50 million plus 10 million in add-ons, right? So that whole thing, you know, of course, we saw reports where Gyökeres was pissed off. He removed Sporting from his socials, right? He was not happy with the way things were happening. Today we see reports that Gyökeres said, you know what, because he's very pissed off, he's not going to come back for preseason training. You know, he's done with this club. He's never going to play with this club again. Yo, so what happens? Sporting president comes out. He's like, what? Nah, buddy. This is not how everything happened. All right? You are not going to drag my club through the mud. This is what he said. Sporting president Federico Varandas on reports about not honoring gentleman's agreement. One of the agent's biggest concern was whether we would demand the termination clause, right? Which is over 100, right? Over 100 million, right? Hugo Vena is the Victor Gyökeres agent. So Hugo Vena negotiated with the agents over several meetings until the agent demanded the presence of the president. At this meeting, which included the president, the agent, and Vienna, all right, Gyökeres was not present. He wanted to guarantee certain things, and what was agreed, right? That Sporting would not demand a release clause now, a release clause which was over 100 million, right? They will not demand that release clause for one reason only, all right? He was going to be 27 years old, and no player leaves Portugal at 27 for over 100 million euros, right? Which makes sense, 27. So, you know, Sporting had agreed like, listen, we're not going to demand that, but you know what? One thing we're going to demand is we don't know how much, what is the figure going to be? Will it be 50 or 60 or even 80, right? We're going to figure that out later, but apparently the agent is the one, it looks like, what is his name? Victor Gyökeres' agent is the one who kind of came up with that crazy number of like whatever, 60 plus 10 in add-ons, whatever. So that was never agreed. And listen, one thing is with Sporting, we have always had a good relationship with them, right? We got, come on, you know the kind of players we got from Sporting. First of all, they gave us the manager, Cristiano Ronaldo, a whole bunch. So we always had a good relationship with Sporting, right? So for them, you know, hearing these stories that they did not honor the gentleman's agreement, it kind of looked crazy. So but this whole thing right now is just going off. Yo, you know, I know today a lot of things are going to be happening. We shall see. But yo, check, this is madness. It is madness. But you know what? The silver lining to this is this, guys. By them, meaning Sporting and Gyökeres going through this back and forth arguing thing, I like it because it gives us a chance. Chance. What chance is that, you're asking, Luther? The chance is we're going to be able to actually have time to offload some of these players, right? Because here's the thing, right? In order for us to afford Gyökeres, we need to sell. All right, we need to sell, of course, Garnacho. We need to sell Rashford. You know, we need time to sell because the next thing that we're going to work on now, we're trying to finalize the Mbeumo deal, right? So when Mbeumo comes in, so we'll have Mbeumo, we'll have Cunha in the back. So now, in order for us to go for Gyökeres, we need sales, right? So let them battle it out, all right? For them to kind of figure out what's the actual fee, and then by that time, hopefully sometime middle of July, we know Gyökeres is not going to go anywhere because, you know, they're fighting it out. They're beefing, right? So that gives us a chance to say, you know what, we can work on some of these deals. By the time everything kind of quiets down, boom, we come in, we say, okay, cool. You know, once they agree, what is the actual fee going to be? And then we go in, we put in our bid. Now, I don't know. You guys let me know what is too much for Gyökeres, right? Because it looks like Sporting may want like that 80 million euros, which is about 67 million pounds. Is that good enough? Would you be willing to go higher than that? The 67, which is in pounds, euros, about 80, right? Is he worth that? He's 27. But again, he's a proper bagsman. Like, he's a proper goal scorer, right? Are you willing to pay over 67 million pounds for a proven goal scorer? You ask me. Hell yeah. We pay it, man. We pay it because you know what? You know, we need that proper striker, right? And that is one striker that Ruben Amorim has worked with. He knows him very well. He knows how to deploy him to give full effect. So we go for him, right? We go for him because the thing is, if we don't, then we're going to have to pivot to Mateta or Mitrovic. Because why am I saying Mitrovic? Because Ben Jacob has mentioned Mitrovic again. So do we pivot to Mitrovic? Come on, man. We are Man United. Mitrovic? No. Even Mateta, man, no. I want Victor Gyökeres. So, I mean, it is all going off. It is all going off. See, you guys let me know. Do you think the deal is off? Do you think Manchester United are going to pivot and go for another target, right? And who's that target going to be? I don't think we're going to go for Osimhen because apparently Osimhen is demanding, like in his contract, even if we don't get Champions League football, he wants to get the same amount of salary, right? Whereas United have been, what they've been doing is throughout the years, we put these contracts down. We say, hey, we don't qualify for Champions League football, your salary goes down. Osimhen doesn't want to play that. He wants to say, hey, listen, boom, I want to be guaranteed a certain number salary. It is all going on, people. Smash the like, hit the follow. See you in the next one. Peace.
I've got that lightning inside me, son of a god. I'm like a titan that's right.
Victor Gyökeres to Manchester United. It is going to happen, people. Victor Gyökeres to Manchester United will happen. Stay calm. All right. I know everybody's kind of worried right now because this mini transfer window is closing today. I know. Relax. But I would be pissed off as well. I'll be furious as well because we see reports that Victor Gyökeres is described to be furious with Sporting for not respecting the gentleman's agreement. Right? Your agreement, you know what? When you shake on it, that is your bond. But Sporting, they're not respecting that. All right. Basically, the report is saying like this. They had agreed that they would sanction a move to certain clubs. Certain clubs include Manchester United, Chelsea, Arsenal. They would sanction that move because the man had a buyout clause of around 80-something million euros, right? So basically, they had agreed that they would sanction a move to certain clubs for 60 million euros plus 10 million in add-ons, right? Slightly lower, all right? However, Sporting president Federico Varandas is now pointing to a valuation of 80 million euros. All right. Apparently, he has now moved any mention of Sporting from his socials. Right. So the man is pissed off. You know, he agreed to stay an extra season. He agreed to keep on banging in goals for them. But you know what? Sporting decided to change the rules, decided to go against the agreement. That is not right. I understand why he's pissed off. But don't worry, guys. He is coming. He wants Manchester United. So listen, forget about whatever you've heard out there. He is coming because Ben Jacobs has been really good this transfer window when it comes to this movement's transfer window. He reports that Victor Gyökeres is a player on Manchester United's list and Gyökeres is open to moving even without Champions League football. Man United Football Club are assessing multiple striker options after missing out on Liam Delap. Listen, I don't understand why Victor Gyökeres was not our number one. You know, obviously, I don't know what's the deal here. Right? It could be we were going for Wilcox and them. They were going for Delap because of his resale value. What do you guys think? It could be that. But you know what? It would make sense that this guy, Victor Gyökeres, should have been our number one target. We should have been working on it from day one. But on the background, we hear reports that we have been talking, Ruben Amorim has been talking to Victor Gyökeres the entire time, right? You know, kind of selling him the project and all this stuff. So he is on board. So Ben Jacobs is saying that Gyökeres has several suitors, including Saudi. He's never going to go to Saudi. Come on, man. He wants to play in Europe. Although Ben Jacobs is saying that it is believed he wants to stay in Europe. So continue reading that story before saying that. But yeah, Ben Jacobs is confirming that he wants to stay in Europe. Forget about Saudi. Sporting don't have any formal bids yet, but are expected to sell for around 70 million euros. Now, Andy Mitten, who is a very respectable journal, yesterday on Talk Sport, he kind of poured cold water on the Gyökeres thing. This is what he said. Andy Mitten, who is a very respectable journal when it comes to Manchester United news, right? He always reports for Manchester United. He said, listen, Andy Mitten is saying that I spoke to senior people at the club, and apparently Gyökeres wasn't a name that he was mentioned, right? And he's saying that, continue saying on this report, I'm not saying it's not going to happen, but I have got no evidence that they're trying to sign him. All right, listen, Andy Mitten, you know, respect to you, man. But the other big dogs, the Fabrizio Romanos, the Ben Jacobs, you know, I think even David Ornstein, they kind of saying that, you know, Gyökeres is on that list. So, you know what? Hey, listen, we shall see. Let's see what else we got. So Sky Sports yesterday reported, Sky Sports, they're saying that Manchester United have made an initial approach for Victor Gyökeres through intermediaries. United are exploring the conditions of the potential deal. Ruben Amorim is a big admirer of the Gyökeres, having managed him at Sporting. Obviously, we know that. So big Sky Sports, yesterday they reported this. It means whenever Sky Sports put messages like this, yes, slow sports news, right? We already knew this. But whenever they put their name on a news like piece like this, it means they have double checked and triple checked and quadruple checked because they don't want to be wrong. That's why sometimes they're late because they have to double check and double check, to make sure that before they say something like that, it really did happen. So again, Sky is reporting that we have made some approaches. Gyökeres, he's gonna be our 9, man. So let's check on Fabrizio Romano and see what he's saying. So Fabrizio Romano over here, he's saying that Manchester United keep calling on a daily basis for Victor Gyökeres still on their list. Juventus and Al Hilal have also called in the last 48 hours to be informed on the situation after Arsenal contacts ongoing since May. But with Šeško advancing. So, of course, Arsenal, they look like they're advancing on Benjamin Šeško, right? So, big up to them. Yeah, just go for Šeško. Leave Gyökeres alone for us, right? And he's not going to go to Al Hilal, man. Al Hilal right now, they're treading on, they're struggling to sign these superstars, man, because we see reports that your boy Osimhen turned down Al Hilal, I think, twice, if I'm not mistaken. Or I think Al Hilal gave him an offer. They put an offer on the table, but Osimhen said no. Crazy money. I don't know what's the deal. I don't know what's going on with Al Hilal. They're not really having a good luck right now when it comes to signing these players because Al Hilal need to sign these players ASAP for the Club World Cup. But Osimhen looks like he turned them down. So listen, Osimhen is still out there. He's still out there. So hey, listen. Worst case scenario, if we fail on Gyökeres, we can go for Osimhen. He's out there. I wouldn't care. I'll take either one. But preference for me. Let me know what's yours. It's Gyökeres because Gyökeres has worked with Ruben Amorim. He knows his system. He knows how he wants to play. Boom. That to me is a tick. All right. Now, if we, worst case scenario, oh my God, things didn't work out. We end up with Osimhen. I ain't gonna complain. All right. I ain't gonna complain. The important part is we get a proper number 9, a proper bagsman, 20 goals minimum. That's it, people. So guys, listen, calmate, calm down. Gyökeres is coming. All right. Let me know what you think. Smash the like, hit the subscribe, hit the notification bell. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.
With it, group drop.